What's up, everyone? Kaiju no Kami here with
Cruellica Kain,
Silver Quill,
and we are going to be talking about Kamen Rider Revice, episodes 32 to 34.
Yay!
32, 33, 34.
Yeah.
Okay.
3.
It felt like we watched 4 episodes for some reason.
That's because these went too quick.
Or perhaps it's better to call it the Farewell to the Queen arc.
Off with their head.
Let them eat ice cream with waffles, but not a waffle cone. What's up with that?
Well, he eats the waffle bowl. You eat the waffle cone.
Yeah, my method's a bit leakier. I won't deny, but it's so much more satisfying. The tactile warmth coming off the cone as you crunch into it, as you devour its contents. No container can hold your unbridled hunger.
Okay, I need your reasoning since he gave like such an epic reason for the cone. What's your epic reason for the bowl?
I don't have to hold it in my hand.
Laziness. Epic crunch time, laziness. You decide.
But then again, in all reality, I'm not a fan of waffle bowls. I tried it like...
Shock and horror.
Oh, what, both of you? No, the one time I tried it...
One time?
After I ate all of my ice cream, I'm like, I still have more to eat? Because the problem is, we're talking about Cold Stone Creamery specifically. And Cold Stone, because we're mentioning you, if you could sponsor us, that would be super awesome. But, free ice cream, yo.
Okay, go on.
But I don't eat all of my ice cream in one sitting. I'll take home half of it. And having a waffle cone, then I have a soggy waffle cone that I need to take home as well.
Infused with the flavor of that which tried to escape you.
But it's soggy.
So easily to chew and digest.
It's soggy.
Never eat soggy waffles.
But I drench them in maple syrup specifically so they're a little soggy. And, you know...
I worry about your, like, blood sugar.
I'm worried about your joy.
I have a lot of joy. I'm eating ice cream. And usually I pick, like, really random flavors to eat. Like, I just recently had, what was it? What was the flavor I got? I had a banana flavor recently. I had the cotton candy flavor. There's so many fun flavors. I don't want to ruin it with a bland-ass waffle.
Bland-ass waffle? Can you believe this one? You know, we have had demons, possessions, a woman being assailed and giving into the dark side, but this somehow is the scariest part of the evening. Finding out my friend doesn't really go for waffle cones. Or bowls. Or anything waffle related.
Well, I don't mind waffles. Sometimes.
What's your opinion of Belgium?
I actually don't care.
About the country?
No, not Belgium, the waffle.
I didn't say waffles, I said Belgium.
Belgian waffles are a kind. I like the country of Belgium.
Oh, but you know...
I've never been there, so I can't say.
I've never been there, but I've heard great things about it.
You all heard it. You all heard her apathy towards Belgium.
Oh, right.
Okay, on that note, good night, everybody.
Yeah, there's nothing more.
There's nothing to talk about.
Alright, but, so we've got 32 continues where we left off with Iki learning about his memory disappearing, and then...
Well, him disappearing. Basically.
Well, yeah, it's not really his memory, it's him disappearing from existence.
He's just like, well, that's the life of Kamen Rider. Gotta move on from it.
Kamen Rider blades off in the distance. Damn right it is!
Well, because if you think about it, Heisei, not Neo Heisei, but Heisei Riders, they got the short end of the stick when it comes to life. Like, think of Kiva. He had to kill his girlfriend, his mom died, basically he never knew his dad, basically his entire, even his half brother is like everyone storyline is gone.
Meanwhile, Kuga's off like, I'm doing my best, but it kind of sucks. I mean, he had to go through some stuff.
Well, all of them did. I
just think Blade got the shortest end.
Well, no. Was there a happy ending for anyone in Blade? Legitimate.
Mutsuki.
Hajime?
Mutsuki. He got a happy ending.
Yes.
Hajime got to stick with his somewhat adoptive daughter. Though if you read the official fanfic continuation, that gets weird.
I'm good.
Well, actually, there's this anime that came out based on a manga called Usagi Drop. And the anime is super wholesome, super cute. I love the anime. But if you actually read where the manga continues, it's like, nope, I'm out.
Now, I still have not gotten these two to see Gio's Blade two-parter.
Nope. We'll just catch it when we watch Geo. I've heard Geo just completely screws up all the endings to the Kamen Rider series.
Screws up? Provides closure. Well,
Screws up.
Well, we're still waiting for the closure. Why are we talking about everything but these episodes? We like them.
I know.
Usually we're like Ultraman Trigger.
Well, no, it's just we've been having...
We're meandering a lot.
Well, here's the thing. First episode of this set is setting up the conflict for Sakura and Leva-chan based on Aguilera.
Yes.
Second episode is the climax of that conflict. Third episode, it doesn't feel like we're headed towards the final conflict with the bad guys, but all the pieces in place seem to suggest that.
Well, yeah.
I'm just hoping that Vice and Iki can get one more form so we can stop seeing this horrendous Gale form.
Well, one thing that we need to talk about before we start discussing the episodes is actually something that has been announced recently. So the main writer for...
Well, I don't know if it's been officially announced or not. It's just rumors, whatever.
Okay, the rumor is that the main writer has been hired on to do the series Chainsaw Man, the anime adaptation. Due to that, he's still going to be involved with...
But he's going to be switching roles with the secondary writer, where the secondary writer is going to become the main writer, and he's going to become the secondary writer for the remaining... Oh, what do we got? 14 episodes left?
Let's see. So we've got the main writer, who is writing away to write on another project.
35.
So the second writer will be promoted to the first writer. And then the first writer will transition to the secondary writer.
Yes, essentially what you said. But the thing is, I don't know who the secondary writer is. The secondary writer is.
Right now, let's say it goes through all summer with only a 1 week break. Well, this show will end, and let's say the show ends at August 28th, because the following week would be Labor Day, when they'll most likely premiere the next one. So this show will end at 50 episodes if it continues going the way it is.
So essentially, if things go the way they're planning...
There's 16 episodes left.
Yes.
So we're definitely too far away for the final conflict then.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess this one, unlike the end, that's it. We've seen the end of the Deadmans twice, but to tear down Phoenix now, I feel like there'd have to be more Phoenix personnel involved. So I feel like we ended on a bit of a false tension.
I kind of feel like, in a way, this is how I felt about it. I felt like they're going to Dragon Ball Z this shit. Like, we're getting to, like, the last main arc, but it's going to be like the Frieza arc, where it's going to
take 5 minutes till the planet blows.
So, Build's final 10 episodes. Where he was nothing but Build versus Evolt. Evolt gets away. Build and fights Evolt. Evolt gets away. Build fights Evolt.
Hopefully it's not like that. But I kind of feel like, or if you look at it in the video game premise, you have a Kemi. She's going to be Final Boss 1. You have, oh God, Daichi. He's going to be final boss phase 2. And then you're going to have Gifu, who
Nope. There'll be another one between them. Veil.
Oh, yes.
He'll be final boss 3. And then Gifu will have 6 different forms.
So this is basically going to be Mega Man.
Well, but they don't get the power. Well, yeah, they do get the powers when they defeat their enemies.
So basically, if we go with the Mega Man mentality, you're going to be yelling at the screen for the last 10 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Because, side note, I'm going to record him playing Mega Man at some point. Because, or Donkey Kong.
The rage will break the lens.
The rage will be there, and you'll see a whole new side of kaiju. But nevertheless, that's kind of how I feel the story will go. I think all shipping fans, though, should be so beyond excited based on how this trio of episodes went.
Oh, yeah. Don't you want to see them buddy up? Kamen Rider Scissors.
That is so
We already
wrong.
got a Kamen Rider Scissors.
You're not getting the joke. You're so sweet.
Your innocence is palatable.
You're so sweet. I love you.
So innocent.
I love you. I really do.
But okay, so we've got the best scene in this episode, though, or actually, it might have been episode 33, when Vice goes into Sakura's mind to talk to Love
Cove.
and she's listening to death metal music with headphones on. He goes up and she just starts yelling at him and kicks him out of the room.
No. How it goes is he goes in, he's like, wow, this is a really cutesy room. And listen, so Love Cove, I love so much more now. My child, my demon, except for the cutesiness, the death metal just, it spoke to my heart.
Have you ever?
Well, it kind of reminded me of Monsters, Inc. 2, where you had,
Oh, the mom listening to the tunes?
So, when they were, because it was Monster University, I think.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember that.
When, the mom, I can't remember for which character, but the mom was their, like, driver. And everybody's in the school doing stuff, and you go to that scene of the mom, and she's rocking out to death metal. Like, well, Disney-fied death metal, but still death metal. So, I always love it when it's that character that you... Because normally you look at me, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can see her listening to death metal. But when I'm in my professional gear, and I mention that my go-to music is death metal, nobody is like, really? Well, everybody's like, really? You listen to death metal? It's like, because I look so professional. So it's that, like, diametric change of, like, that's complete opposite of what I've expected. And so I like when you have that. It would be like Vice listening to Britney Spears.
I could see that happening, though.
I could see it completely happening.
I was just going to say, I could picture him listening to Baby Hit Me One More Time with Iki.
I could so see him listening.
Okay, but yeah, so we've got...
Girl Pop.
So yeah, we have the big fight between Sakura and... Aguilera, and Sakura gets the cool scythe to use as a weapon now.
No new form, though. Those are only for dudes.
But I do like the scythe, and it was fun watching him because he's like, oh my god, the coolest weapon ever, in his like emo-ish way of saying it. But
the most dangerous farming implement known to man.
But I actually thought it was kind of sweet because you're always given that like arbitrary romance in all of your Kamen Riders. It's a given that somebody's gonna have romantic feelings for somebody else. It's a normal thing. But to have it between Sakura and Aguilera, having that slow build, and then Aguilera, when they're fighting, when she expects to die, saying, I loved you, Sakura. And Sakura coming out and saying...
Enough for the past tense.
Yes, I was like, that was a great way of building that relationship. And making it where it felt very authentic. Because usually any relationship in Kamen Rider or in Sentai or Sentai as well is so arbitrary feeling. Like, I always go back to, like,
Kyoruger red and pink.
That relationship that was introduced in, like, what, episode 50?
Yeah.
Was it?
Well, I'm also thinking, even Jetman. I love Jetman. But the relationship that you had there, I was like, where the hell did this come from? There was no build-up.
Well, that's because Red's girlfriend died, so he went to Rebound Girl.
But it felt, and it just like with Kyo red and pink, or Kyoru, it felt so arbitrary, and you're like, when did this happen? Because even Maji Ranger had the same thing with Maji Blue and, oh god, what was his name?
Maji Shine?
Maji Shine.
Well, that was kind of built up.
It was built up, but actually, no, you're right. That was built up. I know, you haven't seen the series, so I'm kind of saying words.
L'amour. Spoilers. Sadness. French movies. Oh. Anyway, honestly, but now the two stalkers / bodyguard. I gotta say, these girls are being far more patient with the dudes stalking their every move than I think many people would be.
But I love their face, so every time, and they know they're there because they're the worst bodyguards in existence. Because bodyguards are supposed to be like the old analogy for children. Seen but not heard.
I'm Shadow.
So, well, technically, they're not even supposed to be seen. And every time
I was gonna say, I'm like,
they're
what?
talking everything, they just glare over at the two guys.
And the two guys make, like, they're on a double date themselves.
Yes! I'm like, okay.
Except for when they're taking that selfie with the ice cream and
Tamaki and
Tamaki.
Hikaru.
Well, Tamaki's biting into the bowl. It's not even a waffle cone.
I know! And then Hikaru, they're both like, Sage, and they're like so bored with it.
And hating it.
And it's like, well, then why are you there?
Alright, and then, so one thing I will say is I'm sick of seeing the same monsters
Vegetarians.
over and over. I
Budgetary.
want to see new monsters. Those designs are just getting boring to me. You can repaint them all you want, it's the same designs. That's why I was like happy when we turned Akemi into a monster. I was like, oh, finally a new design.
Well, let's talk about Dr. Legs.
I love that because it sounds like something you would get in Powerpuff Girls. Because what was the mayor's secretary?
Sarah Bell.
Yes, Cerebellum. But all you saw were her legs.
She got legs. Now, before you all think, well, it's wrong to define a person by one physical trait. I had surgery performed by Dr. Weekill. That was his name. I asked, is it like a foreign name, like Dr. Wakil? No, it's Weekill. So, I would call her, and my mom had an anesthesiologist named Dr. Pillow. So, I'm just saying, this lady obviously does not skimp on leg day, and she makes sure to show it off.
Well, you know what?
I've never paid attention.
How can you not? She has like legs a mile long.
Yes.
I kid you not. With the way her skirts look, how can you not notice her legs?
Actually,
that's like her defining feature.
Funny thing is, I don't think it's a skirt. I think it's very short pants, like Daisy Dukes almost.
But anyway, so she tries to sneak into totally not a villain guy's headquarters, finds all the Vice stamps, and gets captured and just happens to not be killed.
Although it looks like she is at first.
It does. They kind of do like a bait and switch over the 3 episodes because this is not just an Aguilera Sakura story. You have 3 different stories weaved into it. So story 1 was Sakura and Aguilera, who's now Natsuki Hana, her birth name.
Hana-sama.
We will go on the whole Stockholm Syndrome later. But then the second story arc that we have is Daiji with his like impassioned need for justice. I think of like so many anime characters who are like justice, and they have to do something about it. And we get to see him kind of become his own enemy and his own weakness, because Akemi, she says she volunteers to do it. He says no, because what will Hiromi think if something happened to you? That shit happens. You're in a war. And then so she inevitably does it because woman. Sorry, I'm a woman saying this.
I don't even know.
If you tell a woman to not do something, what do they do, my love?
Do it anyway.
Exactly.
Cruellica, don't give me $50.
I'm not giving you $50.
Oh, see, you really just got to learn to speak their language.
Reverse psychology only works when it's going to go in their way.
Exactly. See? This is coming from 21 years.
And it will increase your karma score.
My karma score is already in the negatives. But anyways. So she inevitably does it. Daiji flips his lid because once again he has this hero mentality. And I will say...
And he gets his ass whooped.
Twice.
Although I kind of wish we could have seen him charging down the hall so I could picture that Monty Python and the Holy Grail scene. I mean, I did that with Sakura earlier in the series, but, you know, bum 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 bum, great justice, charging for bum 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 bum, and it's still the way bum 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 bum.
All I know is every time I see a kite,
I think of Vampire Hunter D.
No, that's a mouth. I'm thinking of I'm waiting for
Pan's Labyrinth?
No, but I guess I could see that one. No, I'm thinking of...
Good see that one. Okay, good one.
But I'm also thinking of... I'm waiting for good director to come out of his hand. I'm good director. I'm bad director.
Oh, Evil Dead.
Yeah, when he's got in Army of Darkness, when he has the eyes showing up through his shoulder.
Oh, yes.
And then it becomes another head. And
I'm good, Ash. You're evil, Ash. Although... Well, if we're going to talk about references, I forgot to mention with Lovkin's room. Mm-hmm. I wanted Shoddy to poke his head and say, "First time here?"
Want who?
From Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh!
I've been impressed, though, that they still are maintaining the story. Because I kind of fear every time we get into a multi-parter arc, mini arc, whatever you want to call it, that it's going to weaken immensely. Because can a series still be good after this long when we've been burned many, many times?
Well, and the hard part is also because usually the 20s is when Kamen Riders has a big struggle for a bit, and we haven't had that with this show. So I'm waiting for that point where the series is struggling to maintain momentum for the remainder of the show.
But remember, just because it burns doesn't mean you're gonna die. You gotta get up and try. Gotta get up and try. But she's saying we've been burned.
Okay.
He's not a fan of Pink.
I knew
in more
what
ways
song.
than one.
I knew what song you're referencing because I like Pink. The song is called Try Happy.
Oh, okay. But anyway, and then we have... Oh yeah, so we got the dude wanting to, who takes over Kemi, and...
Takes over Kenny? Oh my god, they possess Kenny!
Akemi.
Aw.
Now I will say, his scene in the episode 34 was kind of weird. When he got up out of the chair, when he's like talking to George, and he reveals that he knew everyone was there. It was weird because he just like starts leaning against that one pillar as if he couldn't stand up properly. And...
Well, he is an older gentleman. There is a possibility that... I know even with myself, I'm not an older gentleman or even that old as a woman, that there are times when I'm sitting down that my body is like, okay, I don't want to get up.
Okay, but also the director's acting overall is kind of weird. I mean, he's going, wow.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That whole scene seemed very awkward, the way his...
And his giggle. Never do I want to hear a giggle like that again.
So, one fear I have for the actor is he's probably the weakest of the whole cast.
He is.
Like, his overacting is strong.
He is the worst character in the show for me.
Now, here we go. I'll get you copyright claim now.
No. We're good. So...
I'll play for you after that.
The next part we have, then, is the stuff going on with Vail.
Well, now, is that an Iki side story, or a Vice story?
A little bit of column A, a little column B, because we've had a sequential dealing of inner demons. Daiji slew his inner demon to become wholly live. Sakura abandoned her doubts, which were being represented by Level. And so that has been, she now has the wicked side. But no new form again, only for dudes. So I'm hoping that once Iki reassures Vice that it's not so easily thrown away, they'll now become even bester buddies and get a cooler form. Because again, I don't like Gale.
Gale, Thunder, just...
So the challenge is, one, Vail in his actual physical form looks exactly like Vice. Obviously, Vice has that mask, but now seeing Vail's face, I wonder
if that's why Vice wears that mask.
Looks like underneath.
Well, I'm trying to picture those teeth having dinner. I feel like Vice is even freakier.
Well, that's what I think as well. Like, it's that whole Beetlejuice thing again, because you don't know. Or like, what's in that suitcase that shines gold. But I have to say, when we first have him fight against Iki and Vice, he basically is countering move for move until they get to Gale, the Thunder Gale form. And even then, Vail's like, really? That's all you got?
There are greater peaks to reach.
So, obviously we know it's Kamen Rider, so he'll get another form because toy sales. But, I'm curious about when we have Vail and Papa Igarashi getting together, because Papa Igarashi is now with the Weekend. Because everybody
is working for the Weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, I'll pull it up.
No, please don't.
Actually, I'd like to see Vail become the final villain of the series. Vail destroys Gifu, takes over the dad, and it comes down to the children fighting the dad.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
And a father would give his life for his kids. So.
Well, and here's the question, though. Because it makes you wonder, Vail had that contract with Papa Igarashi. Why hasn't he lost his memories?
They likely had different contracts.
Well, but he did lose his memories. He lost his entire memory of being Vail.
And he has no heart.
Oh, that's true. So his consequences are pretty damn dire, too. Does that mean when Vail is destroyed, he will die, though? Because he doesn't have a heart? Because Vail wasn't dead.
Just resting.
So now with Vail, if Vail is truly defeated, does that mean the ultimate sacrifice is going to be the father?
Well, you mean they're going to unveil the future.
I also want to see George, if he's going to actually become a Kamen Rider.
Well, I mean, he's updated the coolest driver, in my opinion, the evil demon striver. That's still, I think, the coolest. Although, I'll tell you true, anytime Daiji transforms now, I want to hear that wings to fly on loop for a little bit.
They don't have time for that.
No, but it's kind of like, well, you haven't seen Geo, but the one additional writer had a really great looping music theme.
Oh, Wazoo? Not Wazoo. Yeah, Wazoo.
It was.
Was.
And so I People have even made 10-hour loops of just that music.
10 hours?
Well, I don't listen to it for 10 hours, but...
Okay, I was going to say, what do you have in your life going on that you're going to listen to a loop for 10 hours?
No, you see, this is part of my torture training.
What kind of torture training are you prepping for?
The next time you guys want me to marathon an anime.
No, it'll be a Kamen Rider series he's going to want you to marathon.
Well, do you know how long I had Blade Brave stuck in my head after? see, training. You gotta learn to block.
Well, yeah, we've got to
out.
show him a Gito now since we've done Kuga.
Okay, moving on.
So it's valid training.
Okay, that's fair.
I just sort of strap myself into a chair, have my headphones on in advance, start playing.
Do you also pull the whole Clockwork Orange? Make it stop!
I don't. Well, I have to check the recording to see if I went unconscious to the sound of my own screams. And do I wake up to the sound of my own screams?
That would be terrifying. And I like horror movies, but that would be terrifying.
See, I'm freaking out, Cruellica. I'm freaking out, Cruellica.
But I do like that Vice's relationship.
Oh, what? You can do it, but I can't?
Stop it! Copyright. But anyways, no, we're not going to see.
Look, if I have to play a Disney song just to...
No. Let's stop, boys.
Boys be
Alright,
crazy.
fine.
But anyways.
But we're at that false climactic battle that I feel doesn't even herald a turning point in the conflict.
So, that's the thing I'm curious. Is it going to at least help push the story forward? Because if we're at a false point in the story where we're going to get that pretend end, are we going to be pushed forward in the story? Or are we just going to be at that stalemate until they figure out what the hell they're doing?
Well, I just want to see more of Vice undercover.
Oh my god.
Cam
and Mama are like, their relationship has grown so much.
From I want to devour you to let me protect you.
And okay, you can fight, but you have no endurance to help push a bike up a hill.
Well, I mean,
He's not used to having a physical form.
Is that really what you're going to go with?
Yes.
Well, you never know. She might have had some really heavy celery in that.
No, I thought those were green onions, but she probably did.
Alright.
They're probably the heaviest green onions.
And then we have our
Dark
other
matter
thing,
onions.
is the one dude wanting George's dad to make him a Kamen Rider belt.
Hikaru.
Which,
Stalker boy.
it's like, sorry dude, if anyone's going to get a Kamen Rider belt, it's going to be Aguilera.
Hana now.
Hana now. Which, okay, I did it's funny, for some reason I thought Hana was the mother of the
Who's
fake
disappeared.
Yeah, I guess I just wondered what happened to her. But also, when Sakura brings Hana to weekend, first words out of Cruellica's mouth, I love those boots!
They were awesome! I'm sorry, go-go boots, even though they're short-heeled, those are a perfect example of classic go-go boots. And I love me a go-go boot. Do you not know what go-go boots are?
I'm well aware what go-go boots are, but I always remember them as having massive heels.
Well, like I said, they don't
They have mass appeal.
Yeah,
So,
mass appeal of
they
massive
don't
heels.
have, like, high heels like these.
That look, okay.
See, that's why I like them, because they remind me of a go-go boot.
But, okay, so, other
Lots of
than...
laces.
Ooh, I just found one they're really cool. Da Vinci inspired go-go boots.
There's lots of advertisements.
Are they sized for a Chinese or an American market? It's not me being racist. I went through this recently with the clothing place. If you got to be sure what their sizing scale is.
It's made by a brand called Doll's Kill.
Well, my place was called William David, but they're a Chinese manufacturer.
Okay, I so want these
Anyway,
shoes now.
other than other than Sakura fighting Aguilera, I have to say there wasn't much in the way of action scenes that were all that
Actually,
interesting. I like that shot of when Janu is in Aguilera's eye reflection, and then it like closes up on her and then shifts to like behind them.
Oh yeah, where it kind of flips cinematography was.
Yep.
although I would like to see someone do a gifu sama of that just sort of infinitely trading off. Therefore, it's like one of those mirrors within mirrors within mirrors. That would be a great GIF makers. Help a brother out.
You're not a brother.
Why am I not a brother? From another mother. James.
Okay, nevertheless,
Oh, she's denying my brotherhood status.
I did enjoy these
Is it a
3
Full Metal
episodes.
Alchemist?
I really enjoyed them.
No equivalency, apparently.
And I thought they were fun. I thought the story progressed. And it progressed, like, there was a lot of story, but it still let you breathe.
Yeah, it wasn't poorly paced or anything. You had a lot go down, but you still had room to digest everything that was going on.
Although I'm also wondering, we didn't mention much about their friend who's watching over their dad. Mr. Buds? No.
Mr. Boo.
Boo. Well, he gave everyone a good start at the beginning of all this.
Actually, I liked it because I thought it was hilarious because seeing Vice, like, throw himself on the ground back, like, oh my god!
You know, I keep thinking of the voice actor for Vice. Before the series started, there was a lot of apprehension because he's made some very questionable choices. Mm-hmm. And that's the polite way of saying it.
Yes.
I feel that his skill and delivery have endeared him. It doesn't eradicate a mistake, but I'm hoping people can appreciate the performance while still acknowledging human error.
Well, I think the other thing that we have to remember, and this is, it doesn't justify it by any means, but they're also a different culture. Even, I don't think that should excuse him because he
lived in America?
Oh, well.
So he lived in Germany. I don't know if he lived in the States.
He was a Broadway musical actor for a couple of years.
Okay, then never mind. I'm going to completely not continue my argument.
Well, I mean, I understand cultures have different perspectives. Sometimes a culture is wrong.
Oh, I'm not discounting that by any means. I'm just saying the challenge out there sometimes is that while we look at it as wrong because it is knowingly wrong, but we're looking at it from a lens of an American, where in Japan, that may be cool for some reason.
Speaking of cultures that get a lot of things wrong, hi, we're American.
But anyway.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, what do we normally get right on the world stage? Not even.
I feel like that was an answer.
I do.
Anyway, so now that I made us all super stereo, you guys.
Well, there's really nothing else we have to talk about these episodes because we've covered pretty much all the important aspects.
Even with our meandering.
Well, we didn't. It's funny that Iki was really the least prominent character in all this, even being a bit out of touch with what's bothering Vice.
Which I kind of appreciated, though.
Yeah, I mean, normally, okay, there's easier ways to shower.
He doesn't spill water on himself for no reason at all.
Anyway, normally Iki's the ultimate busybody, but this time he wisely took a back seat to Sakura and her efforts. But in a weird way, that means for 3 episodes, Kamen Rider Revice has not been all that prominent.
He hasn't even been all that helpful in a lot of ways either. Like he's
Which
there.
has been kind of nice, though. It's been a nice change of pace so that not everything is always about him.
But now he and Vice need to have a heart-to-heart. Vice, I'll never let you go. Oh wait, can he be in the middle of a frozen...
He's going to give him some advice.
I want them to be in a frozen water, one of them on a door platform.
But in all
never let go,
honesty,
Vice.
can he legitimately say we'll be together forever? Because once you defeat Gifu, let's say Gifu is the final boss. The end point, not even our thought with Vail taking place afterwards. But end point is Gifu. Can Vice even stick around? Essentially, they are going to have to part ways. It's not going to be like, it's going to be like Den-O in a way, if you think about it, where Momotaro takes over in like all the subsequent movies or anything, but anytime you see anything for Den-O, it's Momotaro in the costume. It's not the actual character.
I haven't seen Den-O, so...
Yes, but you've seen superhero Tyson and things like that, so you've seen Den-O where it's Momotaro.
Alright, well, with that said, click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube tells you to click on. You can support us on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, Kaiju no Kami. I was trying to think if there was anything else before I said Kaiju no Kami. Website creativitybydesignllc.com, and the store is creativitybydesignllc.com/shop.
And you can find me, just do a search for MLP Silver Quill on Twitter, DeviantArt, and YouTube. And if you do Silver Quill after the fact, you'll also find me on YouTube.
And until next time, bye.